Gamers, the Synchro event is finally upon us. Well, for you, it's finally upon us. For me, I mean, you know, it's in a couple of hours, but basically what we do with these videos, you already know what it is. We're going to be covering some deck lists that you maybe want to try out. We're going to show you also some replays of certain deck lists just to give you a taste of, you know, maybe some things that you should look out for, maybe some things you should try. As always, these videos are a community effort. So if you guys want to join the Discord, the link is in the description. It's always a lot of fun to see what the people in the Discord come up with for their deck lists, for their replays. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the deck lists. And first things first here, let's do what I'm going to play. So what I plan on playing is Zombie Punk. Now, I think Zombie Punk is going to be really, really solid this event. For one, they're completely unhit. Literally every zombie card is here. So, you know, well, except Eldritch, I guess. But, you know, you can play 3 Zombie World. You can play your Banshees. You can play your Glow Bloom, play your Doom King Ballardrock, which is a house of a card, especially in a format like this with a lower power level. Doom King Ballardrock is just so freaking good. So just setting up a Doom King Ballardrock with like a Baron de Fleur is already pretty crazy. Sometimes you can set up even more. So I think this deck is going to be really solid in the event. Also, it's one of the few decks that can actually make use of the Ishizu cards. So, you know, you can play one of each Ishizu in this list, and I think it's actually going to be quite good for the deck. So I definitely highly recommend trying this deck out. If you already have the zombies, or if you don't, this could be a good budget option for you because zombies has a really amazing structure deck. So, you know, just get a couple of structure decks, build this. I mean, obviously there's a couple punks in here, but there's really not a lot. You have one UR punk, which is the Deer Note. Every other card in the punk archetype that we're using is SR, and we're really only using 1 Ziamine, 1 Foxy Tune, and 2 Emergency Teleport, you know? So honestly, like, the engine is not very expensive. It's really good for the deck. I'll have a replay for this, but let's get on to the next deck list. All right, and next up here, huge shout out to Mazinger for this deck list. You probably hear that name a lot. He's always hooking us up with some fire decks and some fire replays. So this is Resonators, or Red Dragon Archfiend deck, if you will. I'll just go like through each card individually like this very quickly, just for the people that, you know, want to know the names of the cards and don't have every card name. You know, I just want to do this maybe just to help out, make it a little bit easier for people, because I know a lot of people be asking for deck lists, and I'm a bit too lazy to write the deck list. But if you guys are missing some card names, at least you can find the part in there where I showed your card, and, you know, you could just add it to the deck list. But yeah, I mean, you can't really go wrong with Resonators. I mean, this deck obviously is really good at going first, sets up some crazy boards. Its main issue is mostly consistency, but I think in an event like this, it's not going to be as bad because a lot of people are going to be playing some somewhat gimped decks, and the Sword Soul has a lot less consistency as well. Adamanticipators don't have Block Dragon, so it's definitely going to be a pretty lower power level format in general. So I think having a slightly less consistent deck, but that's completely unhit and absolutely incredible when it does its thing, is actually going to be really strong. I could totally see this being one of the better decks actually in the format. So yeah, shout out Maz, and on to the next deck. All right, and next up here for you Blackwing enjoyers from High Niner, we have Blackwings. Now, obviously Blackwings is another deck you just can't really go wrong with. This deck is insane, even with the hits that they did, which is basically putting these cards here to 1, and I think that's the only hit they really did to Blackwings. I mean, to be fair, it's a pretty significant hit, but not so significant that it makes the deck bad or anything. This deck is going to be absolutely insane. Definitely one of the best choices for the event. So like, again, I'm not going to do card by card, but we can just kind of go through them. I mean, you guys probably know what this deck does by now. Blackwings has been around a little bit in ladder in the last format. This format, not as much, but I definitely think in Synchro event, this deck is absolutely going to be amazing, and you're probably going to see a lot of it because a lot of people built Blackwings in the last format. It was a really popular strategy, and I really like it. I think it's a really cool deck. Not really like a deck I would play all the time, but I know it has some really big fans, and honestly, I don't think you could go wrong with this. Next up here, from a big supporter of the channel, B-Dubs, we have Goaty. And I mean, Goaty, I think also is going to be one of the best decks. Actually, I think this might be the best deck in the event. So I'm also interested in trying this. I'm probably going to play more of that Zombie Punk deck because I do miss playing zombies and I haven't played them in a while. So this event feels like a good excuse for that. But honestly, like, this deck is going to be so crazy. So I mean, Goaty, I've already made some content about this deck. Actually, my video on Goaty did really well, like 30,000 views. If you guys like Goaty, this is going to be the perfect place to play it. It's still actually pretty good even in ladders. So, you know, and this deck is pretty much unhit completely. The only difference is you only run Synchro monsters in the extra deck, but honestly, like, this deck already does well in ladder. It's barely hit, and it's going to be in a gimped format, so I think this might actually be the best deck in the event. All right, and for the last deck, we have Sword Soul. So I mean, I'm not going to show you a replay for Sword Soul. You guys know Sword Soul. You've seen Sword Soul a million times. In this event, it's not going to be quite as good because Moye is at 1, but overall, I still think it's going to be a really strong deck. It still has some good options. It's still like really consistent. It's just not going to be quite as consistent. Still going to be able to put up some good boards, play through a couple of things. This is a weird choice. This is just because we don't have the normal 10E monsters like the Link monsters. So I figured maybe toolbox, you put a non-effect Synchro in there just in case you want to use your graveyard effect of 10Es. I'm really not sure. And we're only playing 3 of this one because the Adara is a tuner, so that could be useful. These, I mean, they're not going to come up pretty often other than just the free body on the field, so running one of each of these. And Destrudo is actually going to be quite useful in this format in particular. As for the extra deck, I mean, you know, just a toolbox of a bunch of Synchro monsters. You know, Sword Soul is just good at just shitting out Synchros. So yeah, that's Sword Soul. Anyway, guys, let's get into the replays. All right, so first off here, we're going to do my replay, and this is zombies against dinos. It's a weird version of dinos. It's danger dinos. But yeah, I just wanted to showcase, you know, a little bit of what we can do going first. I did misplay once in this replay, and I'll explain that. Well, it's not really a misplay, more so just a bad choice in the extra deck. So here we start off, we have Emergency Teleport. We summon the Ziamine, and we go Ziamine effect, searching out the Foxy Tune. Then we're going to go Foxy Tune effect, discarding herself and the Ballardrock to summon out the Deer Note. Then we can go Zombie World, use Deer Note and Ziamine to go into Chaos Ruler, and then we can use the effect of Chaos Ruler. The reason I use Zombie World before doing this is just because in case I mill like a Glow Up Bloom, I want to be able to trigger it. So here we're going to go Chaos Ruler effect, and we're going to also chain block it with the Deer Note in case they had Ash or something, you know? So Deer Note effect is going to summon out the Ziamine. Normally, you summon out the Foxy Tune, but in this case, we're summoning out Ziamine because Foxy Tune is not really useful. Usually, it's because you would go into a rank 8 play using the Foxy Tune with the Chaos Ruler, but in this case, you'd much rather have the Tuner because you don't have XCs, right? So anyway, do a little bit of excavating here, see what we have, Oh, wait, I just realized the game is, wait, give me a second. There we go. That was weird. Anyway, summon out the Uni Zombie, targeting the Ziamine, discarding a card. We discarded the Mezuki. Then, with the other effect of the Uni Zombie, we send the Mad Mauler to the grave. Mad Mauler can lower the level of Chaos Ruler by 2. So now that we did this, Chaos Ruler is down to 7, you know, because we increase this level to 9 and then decrease it by 2 to make it level 7. This is so we can go into Baron later in our turn. So now we go Mezuki effect, bringing out the Doom King Ballardrock from the grave. The reason we do this is because while Mad Mauler is on the field, you can only summon zombies. So we want to get that Mad Mauler off the field. So we make ourselves a Red Eyes Zombie Dragon Lord. That way we can use these two, go into a Baron de Fleurs. And here is where I kind of like messed up. And it's not really a misplay. It's just I didn't put a level 12 Synchro. So after this, I actually added the Mathmech level 12 Synchro to my extra deck. Just because in this scenario, since I made my Ziamine level 4, I could have actually used my Chaos Ruler in the grave, special summoned it, used it and Ziamine to go into the level 12 Synchro, the Mathmech one, and put in the extra monster zone to make it unaffected, right? So that would have been pretty nice. We would have had a tower, a negate, a Dragon Lord, and also the Ballardrock, which I think this card in this format is going to be absolutely insane. So anyway, I think this deck is really strong. So here we go. Mezuki effect. We're going to bring out our Ballardrock. This is just to play around like Called by the Grave. I figured since I can afford to, might as well summon the Ballardrock right now and then pass turn instead of waiting until the standby phase and risking maybe getting called by. So here we go. Opponent's going to start with the chicken game here. Chicken game effect to draw. Then they're going to go for a danger. We're going to chain Max C. They're going to reveal Mare, well, discard Mare, special summon their monster, go for draw 2 on triple tactics, and then they're going to go card destruction. They're going to summon out a Dark Greffer, use the effect of Bigfoot, but we're going to negate it with Ballardrock. Then they're going to go for Dark Greffer, sending the Riot Dragon. We're going to chain the second effect of Ballardrock to banish the Riot Dragon so that it doesn't get to pop a card, just in case they maybe had a baby in hand. They're going to go for Small World, adding a Illusion of Chaos to hand. Here they're going to go Illusion of Chaos to grab themselves a copy of Magician's Souls. Then they're going to go Magician's Souls effect, sending the whatever. They're going to go for Magician's Souls, get a draw, activate Fossil Dig. I let it all go through. So far, I'm holding my Baron negate because I'm just waiting for something really impactful. I know these danger decks have a lot of gas, so I didn't want to like just waste it on a Fossil Dig. I want to wait for them to do something really impactful. Here they go Formula Synchron. I think this was a bit of a misplay because if they, instead of going Formula Synchron, they could have went straight into a Baron de Fleur, and that way they could have actually like popped my Baron de Fleur. I could have negated, and then they could have negated my negate, and they would have gotten rid of the Baron, then they could have went battle phase and gotten rid of like the Red Eye Zombie Dragon Lord. Of course, they would have still lost the game because next turn I could have used Ballardrock to just banish their monster. So I understand why like they maybe were hoping that wouldn't negate the Formula Synchron here, but like I mean it's their only tuner. I'm just gonna pop it, negate it, and then they're gonna reveal their last danger and just scoop it up. So yeah, I mean hey, zombies, pretty crazy. Let's go on to the next game. All right, so for this next one here, this is going to be Mazinger with the Red Dragon Archfiend deck or the Resonators. So let's see what kind of hand we're playing with here. And Okay, so we have our Whirlwind, we have Crimson Resonator. Gonna ask for more, so Crimson Resonator effect, special summon, then we summon out the Wild Wind, I mean. We go into Red Rising Dragon. This card is busted. Red Rising Dragon, bring back the Crimson Resonator. Crimson Resonator effect. You get to special summon up to 2 Resonators from your hand or deck, but they do ash the Crimson Resonator, so we won't get to get that amazing +2 off of Crimson Resonator. We can special summon out the Perform Mage Hat Trick, go into Chaos Ruler. Chaos Ruler effect here is going to do a little bit of excavating. Let's see what we get. All right, nothing so far, and that's a Crimson Resonator and a Witch of the Black Forest. We're going to grab the Crimson Resonator, send the rest to the graveyard here. With these two, we can go into Red Rising Dragon. Red Rising Dragon yet again, not a once per turn, by the way. Bring back the Crimson Resonator. With these two, we can make ourselves a Void Ogre Dragon. This card is amazing. It's a spell and trap negate when you have no cards in hand, so we can set a spell, set a trap, and just pass turn here. So pass turn, opponent draws. We go for time to stand up. We get to special summon up to 2 monsters that are Resonator from our deck. I didn't even know. I've never read this card before. I'm not going to lie to you. All right. Then we're going to get to trigger our Red Resonator and gain life points equal to Void Ogre Dragons. Then they're going to go for Performance Pal Skull Crobat, and we're just going to fast forward here. I don't want to read all these Pendulum cards. We're going to negate their Duelist Alliance here. Then we're going to activate Burning Soul, adding the Witch of the Black Forest to our hand. To Synchro on our opponent's turn into Hot Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity. Wait, what? Add 1 card from your grave to your hand? Immediately after this effect resolves, Synchro summon using monsters you control as material. For the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, your opponent cannot target Synchro monsters. This is crazy. So we get to summon out Hot Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity. If you guys don't know what this card does, it's basically like Kali Yuga. It just shuts off your opponent's turn. Literally just, they don't get to activate effects at all for the rest of this turn, right? For the rest of this turn, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects on the field. That's crazy. Just on the field, I guess, so not everything, but pretty damn close to everything. So they just pass turn here. Gonna draw, and obviously, I mean, at this point, as soon as you get to resolve this card, you just win, right? So add a Red Resonator here, Red Resonator effect, summon out the the Witch of the Black Forest, sorry. Red Rising Dragon, bring out the Crimson Resonator, and then search a Synchron Resonator, summon out a Scarlight Archfiend Dragon, go into Abyss, put the Void Ogre in attack position. Then they're going to trigger their Purple Poison Magician. That's fine. Going to do a little bit of burn damage, do another swing, and we're going to pass turn here. I mean, we have a Max C and we have a Void Ogre Dragon. Is it amazing? No, but it's good, you know, and you have to keep in mind, this is not even playing against a Synchro deck here, right? So all right, we get to negate the Skull Crobat Joker. They're going to just scoop it up here. I mean, guys, like, can't sleep on that. I mean, to be fair, I think Maz kind of failed at, like, just going for game on the turn after that. Normally, you should be able to go for game after you resolve King Calamity's effect. Still super insane, though. All right, now let's do B-Dubs, and B-Dubs is on Goaty. Love this deck. Can't wait to see what he has up his sleeve. B-Dubs is a huge fan of Goaty and a really good Goaty player. So here we have 2 Zep, we have our Supe and our Duskwalker in hand. That's sad. And Beautiful Princess. So we're going to go Duskwalker here. Sadly, we summoned the Supe from hand. It is what it is. But we go into Arion Post using them. Yo, Royal Arion Post. Very nice. Banish the Paces. Then we're going to summon out the Beautiful Princess. Beautiful Princess banish to summon Leafish. Leafish sent to the grave a copy of Shift. Shift effect in the grave. We can banish it in order to raise our attack. And then we can just pass turn. So we have 2 banished Goaty Tuners, which is really good. We get to summon Paces and the Shift on our opponent's standby phase. They're going to go for Illusion of Chaos to get themselves a Magician Souls, which is going to fast forward a little bit here. Then they're going to go Magician Souls effect, sending the Dark Magician. Oh my god, is it one of those weirdo pile branded Dark Magician decks? No, it's just straight up Dark Magicians. Anyway, so we get to trigger Paces here. They're going to chain their Secrets of Dark Magic. I don't know if that's a great move. We're going to go for Oscon here. They're going to summon out their Chronicle Magician. We get to trigger the graveyard effect of Arion Post to banish our Paces and search another level 2 from our deck. And we get to trigger our Oscon, banishing the Oscon as well as the Dark Magicians. So banish the Paces to search a Beautiful Princess. Then we can go Oscon effect, banishing the Arion Post to summon back the Oscon. They're going to go for Magicalized Fusion, summoning another Dark Magician. So here we're going to go for Shift effect and go right up into Goaty of the Deep Beyond, banishing everything on the field. Go to end phase. I mean, you can't make it much cleaner than that, bro. Then we go for a Goaty of the Deep Beyond. Obviously, just a quick, easy W, right? This deck is insane. I genuinely think this is going to be one of the best decks in the event. All right, and finally, let's end the replays with High Niners Blackwing list. And hopefully he summons what I think he summons, because there is an interesting card in this extra deck that we saw earlier in the video. So I'm hoping to see that. But let's see. We go Simoon effect, banishing the Sudri. getting our Black Whirlwind. We're going to search a Vada, then we're going to normal summon the Sudri, triggering the Black Whirlwind. We get to search an Orochi, as well as a Shamal. We're going to go Shamal effect, discarding to get ourselves a Black Feather Whirlwind. Then we're going to summon out Vada, sending the Zephyros to the grave to make ourselves a Black Winged Dragon. We get to bring back our Harmatan from the graveyard to make ourselves a Shamisen Samsara Sarakat. Then we can bring back our Zephyros from the grave and use our Whirlwind yet again. Using these two, we go into our Nothung. Then we get to trigger the Whirlwind again because we bounced it and activated it again. It's not a hard once per turn. And we get to add to our hand a Sudri. Then we're going to special summon out from the grave the Orochi to summon out a Hot Red Dragon Archfiend. We can go Blackwing Sudri as well as Whirlwind again with our extra normal summon from Nothung. Get a search, make ourselves a full armor master, set the Blackwing Twin Shadow, and that's just crazy. Wait, are we going to use this to make... No. There's no way. Okay, summon out the Blackwinged Dragon. That's fine. Then we get to trigger the Black Feather Whirlwind to bring out the Orochi. Wait, Shamisen has a quick effect to Synchro Summon. Oh, you're about to do it, aren't you? You're going to do it, aren't you? Okay, so chain that, make ourselves a Hot Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity, and just shut off all activated effects. Opponent just can't activate any effects for the rest of the turn. And from here, I mean, it's literally impossible to lose, dude. Yeah, that's kind of nasty, bro. I hope we don't see too much King Calamity in the event, but yeah, I mean, that replay is fire, dude. Anyway, guys, yeah, thank you so much for checking out the video. I'm really excited for this event. The last time we had a Synchro event was really early into Masterduel's life, so I can't wait to see how much has changed with all the new decks that came out since then. Make sure to like the video. Again, join the Discord. These are a community effort, and if you want to participate in the one for the next event that we have, then we're going to need you to join the Discord, man. But yeah, anyway, huge shout out to everyone that participated. You guys are awesome. Thank you. That's it for me. All right. Peace.